Okay, so if you've seen my Midnight Kiss pouch, it's a free pattern for members of my Facebook group, so be sure to join the group and you can get the pattern for free. What I did was print this at 50%. I only printed the pattern piece, so I'll pop that up on the screen so you can see the settings. You want to download it to your computer, open it using Adobe Reader, and then set the settings to 50%. So for this, I'm using a number 3 zipper instead of number 5. I've cut a piece of zipper tape that is 3 1/4 inches long, so it's pretty tiny. I have my zipper tabs. We're going to make this out of vinyl today, and this is going to be to hold dog waste bags, like the empty ones, not full ones. So first we're going to get the zipper tabs onto the zipper tape. I'm using some double-sided tape here. This is from Wizard Restitchery. And I just place a little bit of that along each edge of the zipper tabs. So I cut my zipper tabs 1 inch by 1 inch, since the zipper tape is number 3 tape, and it's only 1 inch wide. We only need 1 inch wide tabs as well. And I'm going to leave this bag unlined since I'm using vinyl, which won't fray, and it's just for dog waste bags, so it's not like I'm going to be doing anything glamorous. Yeah, this number 3 zipper tape that I have, I got from So Hungry Hippie. And it's just the cutest stuff with this, the pink zipper teeth and the pink zipper pulls. I just think it's adorable. All right, so we're just going to top stitch along each edge using a 1/8 inch seam allowance. And of course I'm going to have to go, I have no dog waste bags, so I'm going to have to go buy some of them to show this in action. Okay, we're going to make a little tab. I'm not going to use tape or anything for this, so I'm just folding okay, I'm sorry. I cut a zipper tab, or I cut a tab to hold a clip so that we can clip this onto our leash. And I cut it 2 inches by 1 inch wide. I'm just going to fold both of the long raw edges to the center of the back and then top stitch using a 1/8 inch seam allowance. You could obviously use double-sided tape for this if you chose. It's just such a small piece that I thought it would be fine without. Maybe. All right, and then we'll slip that through a little clip. These are from So Hungry Hippie as well. And I'm just going to base the ends of this closed, just using like a 1/8 inch seam allowance. And I had my stitch length set to 5, which I actually just decreased to 4, just since these are such small pieces. Okay, so here's our little clip. So we have 2 exterior pieces, and this is cut at 50%, so we're going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance for everything. You want to place the zipper right side down and centered from left to right. So I'm just kind of eyeballing that it's centered. And then you'll want to sew that in place using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And you probably will need to move the zipper pull out of the way at some point. You can use your zipper foot for this. Obviously, I just didn't. I feel like it's such a quick little project, and it's not really going to matter if I'm kind of sloppy, I hope. All right, I'm going to fold that back and top stitch along the zipper only using a 1/8 inch seam allowance. All right, so we currently have this. I'm going to center the zipper on the other side of the vinyl, which this actually sticks together pretty nicely. Like the vinyl sticks to the vinyl. Okay, and again, I'm using a 1/4 inch seam allowance on this part, just to sew the zipper in place. All right, and then we're going to top stitch along that side, also using a 1/8 inch seam allowance, only along the zipper. Okay, so now we're going to do a couple things. I want my clip to be on the side where the zipper closes that way, so that the closure is at the same edge that the zipper, so that the clip is at the same edge that the zipper closes. So I'm just going to place it about 1/2 inch down from the top along one edge and baste in place using 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And I'm using such a small seam allowance because we're only going to sew this together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, because we decrease the pattern size by 50%, which also would decrease the seam allowance by 50%. Okay, and we want to install a grommet. So I have grommet pliers, which are Dritz brand that I purchased from Joann Fabrics. And I've got grommets, which I have not done these, put these on anything in a long time, so let's hope I get it right. Of course, there are no directions. All right, let's see how I do. So I want to put it like in the center of one side. And I'm like not even gonna mark my placement. So the way the pliers are, there's a part that has a center in it where you, yeah, the little grommet thingy fits it right in there. But there's also a part here where you can cut your grommet. So you turn the thing around and cut the hole for your grommet. So I'm totally just eyeballing this. Probably should have measured. Just kind of press it really hard, and it kind of cut, but not completely. So I'm going to cut that out the rest of the way with my little tiny scissors. These little snips are from moremeknow.com as well. I tend to buy a lot of my stuff from there. All right, so we have this little tiny hole, which is probably not even big enough. I'm going to stretch it around that grommet, and I'm going to place the backing on it that way. Now, let's see. I think that you place, I don't remember which way this goes. We're gonna try this way. I should have looked up like directions online. So the grommet sits in the little die thing on these pliers, and it fits there. And then I placed the metal end inside the other part of the grommet, and I've got like one washer on the back, and I'm just going to press this down and hope that it works right. Oh, it did. Okay, so it separates the metal around that. So this is what you have on the outside, this is the inside, and then we can direct the bags to pull out through that hole. So right now, this is what we have. We're going to fold this, unzip your zipper first. We're going to fold this all wrong sides together. Nope, right sides together. And you can throw a couple little clips on here. Just like that. And we're going to sew the 3 straight edges using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. This might be a little bit difficult next to the end of your zipper, so just be patient. I'm going to back stitch over the end of my connector that's holding onto the clip. Okay, now we need to box the corners. So to do that, kind of stick your finger inside the bag. I'm leaving all the seam allowances here. We want to fold the bottom seam one way and the side seam another way so that they nest together. So the two seams are fitting together just like that. You could trim your seam allowance down a little bit if that would help. And then we're just going to sew across this, also using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then I will trim that down just so that it lays nice when I turn the bag right side out. We'll do the same on the other corner. The bottom seam is going one way and the side seam is going another way. And a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then I'll just trim this down and trim those loose threads. All right, so that is literally it. I'm going to turn this right side out. If you didn't want, you could put a lining in this bag if you wanted to, so that it wasn't raw edged inside, but for the purpose that it's going to be used for, I don't really find that necessary. Since it's vinyl, if you find it hard to turn, you might want to use a blow dryer to heat the vinyl up a little bit, and that will soften it and make it easier to turn right side out. Push your corners out. All right, and now that is the cutest little tiny dog poop bag holder. Adorable. All right, so I'm going to go to the store now and buy some bags to put in this so that I can show it being used, but here we have the collar and the leash that we just made, and here's the handle end of the leash, and this can just clip right there and you've got a whole stylish set. It's adorable. So yeah, let me go get some bags and we'll get this video loaded. So give me a like if you enjoyed this video. If you want this pattern for free, if you don't want your zipper to be wavy, I probably should have clipped it in place when I attached it. Anyway, if you want to get the Midnight Kiss pouch pattern for free, join my Facebook group, and in the pinned comments, or in the pinned posts at the top of the group, is the coupon code to get this pattern for free. If you don't want it for free, then it's for sale on my website and linked below. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think.